there's a game Saturday night to get ready for between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington football team at FedEx Field, the first playoff game for Washington in 5 years. Alex Smith, starting quarterback, not completely healthy from the strained calf. Here's Ron Rivera, the coach of the team, talking yesterday about the possibility of a rotation at quarterback on Saturday night.
Honestly, the thing that we have to be willing to do and we have to really think about is whether or not to rotate him in and out with Taylor. I mean, we have to definitely look at that. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. We're going to play a very aggressive defense this week. And, obviously it's something we most certainly have to look at.
You always think of the rotation by way of the defensive line, and it keeps the defensive linemen fresh, and it allows them to wreak havoc later into the game. Your offensive line typically doesn't rotate, although there may be a swing guy that comes in from time to time to give someone a rest.
Right.
The idea of actually rotating the quarterback, that's a new thing. But again, it's driven by the health issues that Alex Smith has been dealing with. They'd rather have him play, but if having him play means having him periodically not play, then that's part of what the coach has to figure out in order to try to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they got to do what they got to do. We both watched Alex Smith on Sunday night. Listen, this is the first thing I'm going to say, Mike, and I mean this, and I say this only because I like the guy and the person. But man, I really wish Alex Smith would retire, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that because I care about the guy, and I sit there watching him every game, and I honestly, every time he drops back to pass, I go, oh gosh, don't let him get hit. Okay, I really sit there watching him, just going, I hope he's okay after this play, after this game, after this quarter. I just gotten to that point. It hasn't ever looked normal to me this year. Yes, it's been playable and doable. Yes. But then even last week, you see there's a little calf injury. He couldn't get out of harm's way last week. That was scary. It really was. And I think he knew it. I mean, he was one-legged, hopping, throwing, trying to not let his leg get stuck in the ground or get caught in a weird position. And what I would say to what we just heard from Ron Rivera is if we're at that point, well, so I don't even understand that. So we're at that point. What are we going to do? Like, oh, it's a drop back pass. Taylor Heinicke come in. Oh, it's a handoff. Alex Smith back in. Oh, it's a sprint out pass. Hey, it's Taylor again. Bring him in. If you're at that point, to me, then just start Taylor. Just start Heinicke. Heinicke. I'm all over the place with his name this morning. But
Bentonio.
Yeah, thank you. But that would be my thought there. I don't know what two quarterback rotation would really do, Mike. That's where I would question it.
There was a comment from Bruce Arians also on ESPN. He had made this remark during a press conference yesterday. When he was on ESPN, he went even farther talking about the Washington football team. He said, we're not playing a 7-9 team. We're playing a 4-1 team. When Alex Smith plays, they're a 4-1 team. We're not playing Dwayne Haskins. We're playing Alex Smith, which you got to love Bruce Arians.
Yeah, seriously.
In the twisting at the Dwayne Haskins debacle. But Alex Smith isn't what Alex Smith once was. I still think that he's good enough to play in the NFL. He wouldn't be on the field if he wasn't.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. It's just that we know what happened to him.
Right.
And so we are more nervous and more aware of the possibility of injury to him because of what he went through. And at what point is it not worth it any longer? You've proven to yourself you can get all the way back. You've proven to yourself you can overcome one of the worst injuries anyone's ever overcome in any professional sport ever. How much longer do you go? And then you got Tom Brady, who's 43 and a half, and I'm starting to think he's not going to stop when he turns 45. I think he's going to keep pushing the envelope as far as he can, and obviously he'll be the other quarterback in that game on Saturday night. But look, Chris, I haven't seen the betting line recently, and we'll be doing the Mega Picks podcast tomorrow where we make our picks. I don't give Washington a whole lot of a chance here, but that's why Bruce Arians said what he said. He doesn't want his guys to think all they have to do is show up and win the game. And according to Pete Demolitis, the Buccaneers are currently 8-point favorites. Think about that, 8-point road favorites against Washington, but you don't want your guys to be complacent. We've seen that. In the NFL. We have seen occasions where a team thinks all it has to do is show up, and the next thing you know, it gets punched in the mouth, and we have a game, and the underdog ends up stealing it. And so if I'm the Buccaneers, I am leery about what could happen, even if they do rotate quarterbacks. You got to be.
As Brady and Arians watch film, their stress level or their careful approach to the game will continue to increase because they're going to sit there and go, wait, holy crap, this front four, this Washington football team, this defense, they've had periods this year where they won games single-handedly by themselves. Ask Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. 49ers controlled Washington, but, strip sack fumble by Deron Payne. Chase Young picks it up, returns it for a touchdown. Hit the quarterback as he's throwing. Ball pops in the air, interception, short field. Washington gets another touchdown. So a play or two like that, and it could be a whole different ball game. And then when you do have Alex Smith, and this is the beauty of how he fits in that football team, where the defense got a touchdown, and he won't give the other defense a chance to even the score. He'll be smart, and they'll chip away from there. And all of a sudden, you look up and you go, we're the better team, but we're losing by 3 or 7 points because their defense has ruined the game for us. And really, that's going to be the goal for Tampa, is just not to let that front four and that defense ruin the game for them.
And since the game is Saturday, Tuesday was the first day of practice and practice reports. Alex Smith did not practice because of the calf injury. Antonio Gibson, their starting running back, did not practice because of the lingering turf toe problem.
Yeah.
And Terry McLaurin with that ankle did not practice.
Ooh.
They all played last week, but they did not practice. And
they didn't look normal
Mike Evans
either, McLaurin and Gibson. They did not. So that's troublesome because they need those two to make plays if they're going to do anything, because it's not really an Alex Smith to make those plays. And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you with the Bucs. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Mike Evans didn't practice because he's got that knee injury, and we saw that thing happen live, and we thought he was done for the year when the knee buckled, when he slid on the grass in the end zone, and it buckled again, which it just didn't look good.
No.
So they said the MRI showed no structural damage. He's day-to-day, did not practice yesterday. At least they have Antonio Brown, who stepped up in a huge way for the Buccaneers on Sunday against the Falcons. So they have that going for them, but we'll continue to monitor the injury reports. And again, yes, we'll make our picks on Thursday for that game, although I think we're both leaning Tampa Bay Buccaneers, especially given what Tom Brady has done.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.